to all those seeking vibrant health. It's Dr. Rachel Northern here in Johnburg Chiropractic and Wellness Center, and today I'm presenting a talk on boosting your immune system and talking about breathing. But we're going into allergy season this time right now in the office, so I'm just going to be talking about different ways that you can deal with allergies. Maybe you've inherited allergies, maybe you just don't know what's going on with your body through stress, and we're going to talk about different ways we can help with that, so naturally. So first off, allergies is just our overreaction of our immune system to just should be benign things like the pollen in the air. It could be tree sap, it could be dust mites, it could be all kinds of different things. But if you're like this perfect human being and your DNA was all good and perfect, you shouldn't have any reactions to that. You shouldn't have reactions to these things in the air. So is there a problem with your body? Has it been affected where it's irritated? Do you have some genetic weakness to these things? So we're going to just do a couple things to talk about that, because these things should be harmless. So dust mite, dander, mold, food sensitivities, we're going to talk a little bit about that. And you could have a variety of different reactions to these things coming into your body. Some people break out in rashes. Some people can be sneezing. We typically get the sinus congestion in the practice. We'll talk about what I do with that. And runny eyes, itchy eyes, various symptoms can come with this. So it's just your body producing histamines, and it shouldn't be producing them. So the immune system, when it overacts, it releases this histamine. It causes this cascade effect. It causes inflammation either in your skin or your eyes or the places where you have the symptoms at. And then people sometimes have this chronic reaction, or like right now I said, seasonal. Some people notice it more in the spring. Some people notice more in the fall. Some people have it all year round. So I've had various patients come in with different ways that they react. And a lot of times there's some of the things I do are the same to help the body not be so reactive, help raise that threshold of the body's reaction so that it doesn't react, I should say. So my goal in life is to help people just be more optimally healthy. And when we feed into that holistic body, either making sure the nervous system's working properly or giving the nutrients so the immune system can react properly, a lot of times we can either damp down or even sometimes eliminate these reactions. So today we're going to talk about three things, like what you can do, what you should avoid, and what you can possibly add to help you with these allergies. So spring season right now. So how do you fare? Are you kind of one of those people that doesn't bother you, doesn't matter what time of year it is, you're fine? Or are you one of those people that has a problem at certain times of the year? So how do you fare? Also, there's some people maybe that don't even have it. They don't even notice maybe environmental, but maybe it's a reaction to something in your home. And I've had literally yesterday a patient go, I went away on vacation for 4 days and I was fine. I felt great. I come back home and all of a sudden my nose is running and I have itchiness in my eyes. And I'm like, oh, when I have that, that's telling me there's something maybe in your house. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I like to bring back this kind of slide. It kind of feels like it's not supposed to be here, but it is, because a lot of times these reactions are because, unfortunately, in our society, we're in the sympathetic dominance. And when we're in a sympathetic dominance, which means you're fight or flight, because all the stresses of the world are just accumulating in our lives, and it starts to cause a decrease of how your immune system is going to react. It just dampers down the immune system's abilities, and then it's going to be more overreactive. So this is just a one trick about just kind of trying to incorporate in your daily life, trying to get your body to switch over that parasympathetic, that rest and digest, and then also not only rest and digest, but also helping your immune system balance out and do what it needs to do. So taking a moment a couple times a day, if you find yourself really stressed, taking some breathing, just stop. There's multiple ways you can do these breathing exercises. I have multiple videos on my YouTube channel if you want to look. But the 2-1-2 breathing exercise is the one I'm going to talk about today. And that's just saying, take a breath in, count to 2, hold for a second, and breathe out, count to 2. And you can double that. So you can do breathe in, count to 4, hold for 2, and then breathe out with a count to 4. So try to do that a series of like 4 times, trying to get yourself kind of like back in the moment, back to where your body wants to be calm and handle everything how it's supposed to handle everything. It brings down a lot of just your mental reactions, but like I said, it just actually helps boost your immune system to not be so reactive. So that's one thing we can try to do for yourself as we're going into this. So we just did that. So you probably aren't surprised about this graph here. We have, these asthma attacks. We say 1 out of 5 Americans now we have problems with allergies or asthma. Asthma is the lungs reaction to either allergens or histamines, and overproduction of things. And we have a lot of people that are diabetic. We know we have a sugar handling in our society, but also it's like way more people have allergies, and I'm seeing this more and more in our office as well. So all these things actually are going up on reactions of how many millions of Americans are suffering from illnesses. So this shouldn't be a surprise. And part of the reason is we just are unhealthy in our lifestyle and in our society here. So here's some things that you can do. So one thing is anti-inflammatory diet. We're just coming out of a detox promotion right now in the office. I usually tell people to do that twice a year, and the low-carb Mediterranean diet is the one I recommend. It's rich in your greens, it's rich in healthy fats, it's rich in your colorful fruits, and these things are the things that help you with antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and also the fruits and vegetables giving you antioxidants to give your immune system what it needs to do with things that come into our body. And then also eliminating toxins, we're going to talk about later. Probiotics. So probiotics is making sure your gut health is proper, making sure that you have that healthy gut balance. And unfortunately, we have a lot of patients getting antibiotics. There's lots of sickness going around, and they go on antibiotic. It kills everything. And that gut is 80% of our immune system. And people think about our immune system like when we just get like a cold or a virus, but it also is the other side of our immune system is how we react to like the harmless things with allergies. So that's something. Quercetin-rich foods like apples, onions. I've talked about people like making homemade onion soup, or you can, the things that onions and garlic that really help boost our immune system, help us decrease the inflammation. Citrus fruits, the vitamin C reaction you got there. So these may reduce some of your histamine reactions. So that's very helpful. So exercise, getting the body moving. The last about year and a half, I've been rebounding, which is that little mini trampoline. And that really encourages our lymph system. Our lymph system is where our white blood cells move through our body to get to different places. And it needs movement in order to just pump that system through our body. So it's really important to move your body, get some exercise. So hydrate, obviously, making sure we're doing hydration. These are common things I ask my patients on a regular day, pretty much, like, are you moving your body? Are you drinking enough water? These are very important for our health, and it's very important to just flush out some of these histamines if your body is reacting. Making sure we get adequate sleep and rest. So that's obvious. We need those things to decrease our stress. Mental anxiousness. That's why I just talked about breathing exercise. And if there's other things you can do to decrease your stress, let's do that. I'm not talking about drinking that glass of wine at the end of the day, because that really is more inflammatory. So natural ways to decrease stress, walking in nature. There's a lot of other talks I have on that as well. So, and then, avoiding things we put in our body, trans fats, bad fats, fast food, sugar, artificial sweeteners. With babies, I have a lot of people that this is nowadays want to start the babies on food sooner, and really the baby's digestive system is really not ready to handle like those more complex foods and particles until about 6 months. So like a lot of people are starting at 3 months, maybe with the rice cereals or something, because they want them to be more full or maybe sleep through the night. That's just frowned upon, because there's a couple things on that. First off, you're throwing off their sugar balance, and that's not good, and setting them up possibly for diabetes in the future. But also, they can't really process that food, so that can also cause the body's immune system to react to those foods and start this allergy cascade. So we want to make sure you kind of wait till about 6 months before you start babies on food. Okay, so here we go. Chemicals in our kitchen sink. I have a lot of people maybe that bring it on a rash, and we're like, well, what laundry detergents do you have? I just read something this year about how marketing laundry detergent is all about smell, like how it smells. And so they add these perfumes and they add these things into them to make it smell better so they can sell it to you. But those perfumes are not really good for our bodies. So they go into our body has to detox those perfumes. They might irritate the sinuses. There's a lot of factors in those things. So try to get like the scent-free laundry detergents, like hopefully like more natural ingredients is really good. And those are things. Using natural cleaning products as well. There's a lot of companies out there. Here in the office, we use Shaklee products to clean. So those are like more natural products that do the job. So you want to avoid soaps and lotions that have additives as well. That's very helpful to avoid, because those are adding on to things going in your body that can irritate the body and the immune system. And here's like a typical home. We have like your paint and like the things you put on to make your car nice and shiny, all the chemicals that make it nice and pretty, but they're not very good for you. So those are maybe accumulating in your garage. Glue. Let's talk about, you have your your bathroom, and we have all these products in our bathroom. You have the cleaning products, also the air fresheners we have throughout our home that can be irritant. We have our attics. Through the years, I've had several patients find out they had like the black mold or mold infestation, and had to literally move out of their house because they realized they were making them sick and their kids sick, and they had to do heavy duty cleaning out of that, hire professionals to make sure they do it properly and it doesn't come back. So there's that. We have what else? Making sure you change your sheets and your linens and keeping those clean regularly. And then you just have outgassing possibly if you get new carpet, things like that. I personally like hardwood floors, so that way we can keep everything clean and tile, things that you can keep up, that you don't have accumulation in your carpet of who knows what's accumulating in there after so many years in your home. So those are a couple things. I do advocate trying to get a home air filter. There's a lot of different ones, good ones on the market. You can text us if you want to know which ones I like, and make sure that you put that where it can kind of cover the spaces that you need. And there are some that you can actually plug in for room to room. So I bought one like for my son's dorm when he was in college, and because those dorm rooms are pretty gross too. So these are just a couple little things you can do. And this is just talking about, we forget about all our animals, and they shed and they got fur and they got dander. And sometimes people just have problems with that reaction. So trying to figure out ways we can keep those animals cleaned as well. If you're taking them to a groomer, are you making sure you're cleaning them properly every couple of weeks? So, we have environmental triggers. We just talked about indoor pests. Smoke. Obviously, if you smoke, that's not really good. And if you smoke in your home, that's going to accumulate in your fabrics. So trying to avoid that. If say you don't smoke and you live with a smoker, even if they're going outside, they're still bringing some of that in their clothes. And we have, the cleaning products. We talked about that. And making sure you check your, say that you have a like carbon monoxide detector. I did have another family, this was a couple months ago, found out that they had one of their furnaces wasn't working properly, and they were leaking carbon monoxide a little bit into their home, and they didn't realize it. And there was one person was starting to get headaches, and they didn't have a proper fire detector. So a lot of fire detectors you have both making sure certain levels. So make sure you're changing your batteries, make sure you have proper fire detectors and carbon monoxide detectors in your home, and making sure that you can have them in the right places throughout your home. So that's really important. Also ventilation through your home is really important. vacuum cleaners too, like making sure when you're vacuuming, making sure you're, cleaning that bag out. Let's see what else we got. Okay. So if you can go on the internet and find a lot of resources to help you just have a healthy home. So there's that. Here's just talking about just something we can't even control, just how much air pollution we are accumulating in our society, especially if you live close to a city. So that's another reason trying to get one of those air filters in your home, because that'll help clear your air, because you can't prevent all the cars we have here, all the industrial smoke we have. We're about an hour and 15 from Chicago, so I'm sure we're getting some of that air pollution towards us. But people who live in the city, definitely, this is something you want to stay on. So, yeah, we talked about the vaping, the smoking. Obviously, those are no-no. And trying to avoid inhaling any chemicals as possible. If you're using strong cleansers for whatever reason you need to do, make sure you're in a proper ventilation place or wearing a proper mask to avoid that. So here's some things you can add to. So we kind of went down the dark side. Now we can go on the upside. So local honey. So there's like almost like a homeopathy kind of treatment with honey, like if you have problems with the pollen and all the things in your area, then honeybees like kind of collect from there, and they have a little bit of microscopic of that in there. And there's eating the honey and eating the honeycomb can help, like, kind of just tell your immune system, hey, this is fine. We got this little dose, a little micro dosing, and that kind of just gives your little immune system a heads up and kind of helps your body not to react and produce those histamines. So you need to make sure, I think it's like 10-mile radius. Try to buy local honey then. You can't just go to the store and buy whatever off the shelf. So changing the bedding, I talked about pillowcases like once a week, especially if you have these problems. Making sure you have a therapeutic grade essential oils will help. So I had a patient last month talking about she was having like the nose thing, especially she's having trouble at night. And I had given her a eucalyptus or roll-on, diluted eucalyptus, and she like a couple of years ago. And so I said, oh, do you use? She's like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. It's just like, and then she came in the next time. She's like, oh yeah, that works so good. I just do the eucalyptus and it helps me breathe better and opens up my airways. And so just eucalyptus is a good one. Peppermint's another one. I personally don't like peppermint. I like eucalyptus better. So maybe there's certain oils that you resonate with. Lavender also is a good, it's not only calming, but it's supposed to help with opening up your airways and helping you just deal with these allergens as well. So those are things that work really well. So these are things you can add. In the office here, we carry a supplement by Orthomolecular called D-Hist, and it actually has, we talked about quercetin earlier. It has quercetin. It has a lot of stinging nettle, things that help your immune system not have that overreactivity. So where your histamines are contained is called mast cells. And mast cells, if they're the ones that get oversensitive and they release those histamines, but that kind of strengthens the mast cells so they are not reactive. So this has been really successful for helping a lot of my patients not have the symptoms of allergy season. So some patients just use them seasonally. Some patients use it all year round. We have trouble keeping that on the shelf because it is successful. I usually sometimes like, hey, try it. And I'll be honest, it works on a lot of patients, but some people, those deep chronic allergies, sometimes it doesn't work as well. So those are goods there, but I've had really good success with it, and I really like that. Also, vitamin D is really important. Again, that just helps the immune system. We have a standard process is we have something called Allerplex. Again, it's just got nutrients to feed your body, and that one also has a little thing to support the liver to help clear your histamines if you're producing too much. And then again, back to the adrenals, supporting our stress and having some B complexes. So those are supplements you can add. Obviously, I'm a chiropractor, so I'm going to say chiropractic. So I did actually get my spine this time out, remembered for you guys. So it's fine. Actually, the nerves that are on our upper cervical spine, usually it's the C2, that's the one I tend to have that goes to the sinuses. And it tend to be this time of year when that body's getting stressed. I do say that subluxated a lot, so I tend to adjust that. And I do have patients that notice their allergies aren't as bad when they're getting adjusted, when I adjust that. I also tap on the sinus area, so you can do that yourself, do little taps around your sinuses. Some people also like doing like those neti pots to help like just flush their sinuses out. And the reason I tap on the sinuses is like several years ago I read an article about how stuff kind of gets stuck on the inside of our sinus cavity, and that will just perpetuate irritation. So just kind of tapping that off helps. If you can clear that, that's a great way to just flush some of that stuff out of your system. So there's that. Acupuncture has been known to really help with allergies as well, and just bringing your body in balance so isn't reactive. I don't do that in the office, but I refer out for that. Massage and cupping also, just kind of breaking up again the lungs and getting those irritants out. Doing that yourself, or if you have a massage therapist that does it, you can do it yourself. And this is not the cupping I'm talking about. There's different massage there. I'm talking about the cupping where you're kind of just percussing to break stuff up. So that's my tips for today on trying to help yourself through this allergy season. And here's some information. So if you want to reach us at the office, you can always text us 815-344-0113. I also am the author of Journey to Vibrant Health. That is on Amazon if you want more health information on how to have a vibrant life.